Welcome to The Vault with Financielle. This is a safe space where we talk all things life and money and no topics are off limits. Hello.
I thought you were going to go in with howdy. It's my favourite welcome greeting from Lucy.
And you nearly said unlocked again. It's like, that's Monday's one. It's so easily done. So easily done. It's nice when I like recording unlocked and saying, so you may have heard with Girls on the Sofa on Thursday, and I feel like I'm interacting with our own pod, like talking to myself, because people will have like heard that and then heard this one and then
say something to yourself for next Monday.
I will. Oh my God, I'll ask myself a question, I'll answer it. It's that Diary of a CEO vibes.
Enough said about that.
Okay, I'm going to go into today's controversial opinion. Being obsessed with cutting costs is a waste of time and energy. And I'm talking about obsessing with it every single month, like consistently.
That's like, are you the person that when you go out for dinner with a friend, if they've had a starter and you've had a starter, but your starter was
Prawns.
£2 more expensive? My husband, if you go to dinner with my husband, you wouldn't be friends. Like, you just wouldn't go out for dinner with each other because he's like, we'll go for the prawns and then I'll have the lamb starter and then I'll have like anything that could be deemed expensive and bougie. Neil will order it
and we're splitting it
in abundance. Like, he's like, we're going all in. So you're the person that if you went out with friends would be splitting the bill by the penny, and you would feel aggrieved possibly if it wasn't split down the middle.
Yeah.
You're the person with the receipt to make sure that you've been charged correctly in a supermarket, which I have never done, and I am sure that in my life I have been overcharged for stuff.
Alex sometimes looks.
Yeah.
Do you know when we like get the bill at a restaurant, Alex is there like, he like has the balls to like the card machine's there and he's just like, and I'm like, I'm sat there like,
just pay, overpay, tip him 20%.
Yeah.
I'm not that person.
And I'm like, God forbid something go wrong and you have to say something.
Yeah.
I was like, would you actually say something?
I feel like if it was as clear as day there, like a bottle of champagne on the menu that I've not had, then maybe. But yeah, this person is probably like, when energy bills are coming out, they're up, checking the tariff, checking the meter.
Is this not savvy though?
Well, it's just whether it becomes obsessive and then not healthy and it doesn't get you anywhere. Whereas I imagine it does get you somewhere.
Like the
why would you do
frugal.
Yeah.
Ultra frugal living. But if you don't need to do that, is it a good obsession?
Listen, and if you don't enjoy doing that kind of thing, it's a full-time job. Like, it is hard. You know, I feel for all those people that carry the budget.
Yeah.
That like do the switches and
do the hard work,
find the discounts, get the cashback app sorted, have used this, have used that, because it is exhausting. And sometimes it does come, you know, we've talked about this on other podcasts, from a place of need. Like, it's a very privileged thing to be like, well, we'll just split the bill. I am that person, but no, I'm a splitter of the bill, but I am very about the just. I'll be like, I had steak and a red wine. You did not.
Yeah,
you are driving and you're having a salad.
I never drink, and
I'm putting more in.
Are good at saying, well, Holly doesn't drink, so she doesn't, you know. And I'm like, no, usually I'll just be like, no, it's fine. But then sometimes if it's been we've gone to a nice restaurant, there's lots of bottles of wine being drunk, and I'm just like, I've literally had sparkling water, it's £1. Like, you might feel a little bit, if you're conscious about money, like you said, it comes from a privilege. I could forgo it and say, oh, it's fine, don't worry about it. And I have done before, but yeah, just for the ease, not for any other reason. But then on the flip side, people that are totally careless, like, don't take any notice of what's happening to the money. Don't try and be savvy in any sort of way when it comes to bills, interest rates, whatever it might be, will actually be losing out on a hell of a lot of money. So I think there's two extremes to it.
I just got an image of like Chloe's Deal Club. And if you, she's doing the work for you. Like, if you sign up to her newsletter, she's got a couple of tiers, I think, but she will do the work and find the discounts and the deals. And she's very big on only buying stuff if you need it. But she's done the hustle because it is hard work trying to navigate. It's this time of year, I need to buy this. Gifts is a big one at Christmas. Like, if you're trying to get things, or you want that big purchase on Black Friday.
Yeah, she does the deal stacking.
It's exhausting.
Logic. Yeah. I could never. Like, she does probably place of privilege for some people, but I think she's got a family member in Australia and she does a really good rundown of how to get cheaper business class tickets.
Oh, wow.
And that does save people thousands. Like, go and look at her newsletter, like Laura said. If not, just DM us and we'll send it to you because it's incredible. But she's put the work in. It's like, I'm talking pages and pages of how to go about it. But that saved her and her family, because a few of them went thousands and thousands of pounds. So it does pay to be savvy. That person and that savvy. Sometimes it can be to your detriment, where you then feel ill if something you've been relying on a deal to like come off and it's not worked. Like,
it just came to mind. Emma mattresses.
Oh, right, yeah.
There's always a sale and it's always ending in 10 minutes.
Don't panic.
Every day. If you ever want to buy a mattress, it's always ending, and it's always the not FOMO, but like,
like
act now. You'll never get this deal again until this time
tomorrow. Or another influencer comes on with this one-time offer. You're like, that's funny. Or there's always that shop that's closing down.
Yeah. Wonder if anyone's bought a full price
for the last 12 years.
Well, right. I have my protein, and so I got some gym kit from my protein, and used Zoe Ray's code, so she got like tick, and I got extra money off, and they are absolutely breaching GDPR because I unsubscribe every day and I've not been put out of it, but I can't be bothered going finding the email where you tell them, please can you unsubscribe me? And the reason I want them to unsubscribe me is I don't want the deals, because I don't want to be convinced to buy, because I'm all right. I've got some gym kit. If I want protein, I go and try and find discounts if I can. But I've got the app, and the app pop-ups are coming up and they're constantly peppering you with deals. But it does make a big difference when you can get a big chunk off. Yeah. And so monitoring that and making sure that for the brands that you like, sign up to some newsletters, watch out for deals, prepare for them, but then don't spend when you don't need to spend. You can have a leg in each camp. You can be a little savvy and it not be the absolute be on end all. But I do think you've just got people that are good at it and people that aren't.
Yeah. I'm not.
And I'm not. No.
But when I need to be, I probably am. Like you said, if I was going to buy a gym kit from Gymshark, I'm bad with it as well. My protein, bad. I think I looked at a top once, and then now I'm suddenly like I might as well be around the board table because I know everything about the company. I'm getting all the emails, all the discounts, all the product updates. Like, I should work in the merchandiser team. I know how many stocks left of this particular thing.
Yeah, it's quite intense.
So you have to protect yourself. If you're tempted by spending with stuff like that, you can get sucked into the deals thing. Like Neil, we went round to Neil's parents the other day and we're all Yorkshire tea drinkers. Like, we love it. And our food truck wasn't coming the day after. We've already borrowed some tea bags from Laura. We then went to Neil's mum and dad's like, can we borrow some tea bags till tomorrow? We're doing a magical mystery tour. I think even my mum brought some tea bags the day before that.
This is the savvy. They've not bought any in years. It's just like actually. Once a month they can borrow some tea bags.
Neil's dad was like, oh, look. And he put a brand new box down. He was like, oh, it's from Dragon's Deals or something. And Neil was like, oh, amazing. Like, and there were 80 tea bags in it. He was like, how much did you pay for that? He was like, £3.49. And Neil was like, you have been robbed. He was like, I have got a box of tea bags coming tomorrow from Asda after I've utilised yours. Thank you. 240 bags for £5 something. He was
my God.
So you think you're getting a good deal.
Just because you got it from somewhere called Dragon's Deals. You
Dragon's Deals.
He was like, I'm a sucker for a sticker or a
really
sale
thing. He was really happy with himself as well. Like, he was like, look. And Neil's like, how much then? And Neil just like, way, you've been had. When I was talking about deals the other day, and I'm not the cook in our house, so it was a piece of beef fillet, like a massive thing in Sainsbury's, and I saw a yellow sticker and I was like, oh, I wonder, like, just out of curiosity, and it should have been like £26 and it was £9. So I got it. I was so thrilled with myself, but then I was like,
do I need it?
I took a picture. Am I going to cook it? So I panicked because it was such a big saving. I picked it up, I put it in the basket, and sent Neil a picture when I was halfway around because I didn't want to look like so uncool and like take the picture and go, should I get this or have to fight then? Someone else.
Because if you'd have left it, someone else could have
put it in the basket, did a bit more shopping,
and
then took a picture of it and was like, could we put this to use? And he was like, 100% yes, get it.
But imagine if he was like,
it's
not worth
£9. Is this?
We're
like,
making a beef Wellington in the middle of summer.
Yeah, we don't even like that.
Like, what do you want me to do with? I thought it was going to be like, what do you want me to make with that? And he was like, get it.
I don't know what things cost. I'm definitely not savvy. We recently got some windows replaced, and my husband's the detail person and was very passionate about us getting new windows. I was just like, really like, literally not bothered at all. Especially because we would only get like for like we weren't doing a nice aesthetic upgrade. It just, they hadn't been replaced. We'd had some renos in the other bits of the house, and they had been. And so, well, actually, he talked about it, and then I walked in on my husband with another man who was quoting us windows. So I came in. I think I'd come in from the pod, actually. I went, hi. He's like, hi, this is Dave.
So this is Dave.
Luckily, Dave had a clipboard, and that was about it. There was anything else to worry about. But he was like, oh, you know, he said, oh, he was just quoting some windows. I was like, oh, fab. I was like, have you got any other quotes? He was like, oh, yeah, he was number 8.
Oh, my God.
Carl, sorry, not my husband.
But lots of like
so
savvy.
due diligent.
Yeah.
He did. So we then had a quote from the same people, and Neil was like, the guy was trying to sell it to him, and Neil was like, don't worry, you don't have to sell it to me. My brother-in-law's definitely done the due diligence. Like, and we won't be going getting other quotes because Carl's probably got 10 others, and you were the chosen one. So just, you'll be fine. Like, we won't be. You don't need to upsell.
Yeah,
or
you're
like
already the
convince
cheapest.
us that you would be the cheapest and like best quality, because he's not just about price, but.
Yeah, you need someone that does the work.
Yeah, you're good. Like, you're in the club because Carl's got you.
I would have paid double and gone, okay, is that what they cost? Like, I'm not savvy like that. And I'm not proud. Like, I would rather be better, but I'm not.
Well, if you don't have to be because someone else in your family is, then that's the role that we take.
Thank God.
He does the work.
Amen.
Okay, first dilemma. I ruin my budget every time I go out. Any tips on how to stick to a budget when going on a night out? I don't go out often, but when I do, I'm so bad for buying other people drinks and losing track of my spending when drinking. I wake up in the morning and feel so frustrated with myself if I've overspent, and it puts me off going out. Any advice would be fab.
Seeing this.
Yeah. It's like, you actually need to do the work on yourself. I'm going to be totally honest with you. This actually isn't a money problem. It's I think personally, a self-esteem problem.
Confidence.
Where you feel like in order to fit in with your group, you've created a personality where you're the like fun, outgoing, kind, generous, and you probably are all of those things. But when you pour alcohol, it's like fuel to the flame, like, and it can just get carried away. And I know people that do this where they're like, let's get a bottle of champagne, I'll get the drinks, like they're everyone's best friend. But it's still a truth. You can be everyone's best friend. Mm-hmm. You can still be the personality higher in the group of friends. You don't have to lose out financially. And I think a really good way of doing this is getting something like, personally, I use Starling, and I've got a personal account and I've got a joint one with my husband. You can only have so much money in the space at any one time. Like, as in, you could move money over. So say, give yourself a budget for the night out. Say it's £100. I don't know how much it is to go out because I go out for eat. I don't drink, so I don't know. Say you're going on a night out in Manchester and you want to give yourself £100 budget, put it in, don't take any other cards out. You could even disable some of your cards as well on your phone, like take away the Apple Pay, then you've not getting the tap happy and you've just got that to spend, and you put it in a space and that's all you can spend.
Try cash, not everywhere takes cash, but it's really hard because once you, like if you have had a bit to drink, your willpower changes, and if that's your routine, you can be all well-intentioned about I'm not going to do it, and it is really hard. And I think it's maybe trying a couple of nights out where you don't drink as well. There's no judgment. Like, I drink, Holly doesn't drink. Like, it's each to their own. Sometimes I'll be the driver, and it's great for the head the next day, great for the gym, great for the calories, and great for the bank balance, because it can really, really stack up. And so I think if every time you drink and every time you buy drinks, try and test yourself with a couple of nights out where you're the driver. You're still the fun, you're still going to enjoy yourself. But I think you're going to have that. If you do this every time, you need one where you don't, and you need one without the guilt and without the, I just fancy that. Having a little go at being out, being social, but social on a budget. And when you're not drinking, it's so much more easy to be savvier with your money. When you've had a drink, you just slip into bad habits, and you're just in rounds, or there's like loads of different ways that you can slip up a little bit.
Watch how they drink without you there. You're not going to not drink. Like, you're filling. They might have well been on the way to the bar to go and get a drink, and you're like, no, let me get it. Like, watch the dynamics. Like, they're still going to, if they like to have a drink, they're still going to go and do it. How are they going to pay for it? With their own money that they've got. Like, you don't have to be that person. I do think it's an ego, like,
it really
personality.
You know what it is? We're going to bring it out. It's the main character moment. You are thinking that they think that that's your role.
Yes, in the friendship group.
And what if she doesn't? What if she doesn't buy us all drinks? They've literally they're probably fed up of you buying drinks because they might feel guilty because they're not. So then,
sometimes it I do sometimes feel like that. It actually sometimes makes me feel a bit awkward when people overlay go like, no, I'll pay for it, I'll do this. You're like, no, I can pay for it. And then you end up feeling like, do they think that I want them to do that, or I've let them do it a couple of times, so they have to keep up the persona?
Adds a layer of pressure onto everyone else.
The other people might not want you to do that. And don't get me wrong, there will be some people, and I've seen it before growing up, they do take advantage of people. They do take advantage of people.
Oh, they'll never put their hands in their pocket, but they'll wait for the rounds to be bought, and they'll, and that will happen. But there's nothing wrong with spending money on nights out, on spending money on nice food, on outfits for it, on taxis. It needs to form part of your overall budget. And you're obviously not happy with the amount that you're spending, and you feel guilty about it afterwards, or you feel annoyed with yourself. And so you need to make sure that you've got a budget that works for your night out budget, works for the whole budget. So it's not too much. It's not dipping into other areas. Because if you do that, you'll feel better about yourself because you won't feel like you've compromised it. But yeah, test out your role. Play a different character. Like, be
a side character for the night.
If you can manage it.
Oh my God, that was
an extra.
An extra. Be brave about that not being your role. Take on a different role. I'm going to be the listener tonight. I'm going to see if everyone's okay. I'll be the driver. I'm going to give people lifts. Just take on a role and just test it out. And what you'll realize, I think, is that they still love you the same, and actually they didn't even realize.
Yeah, I think as well, if you do want to go out and have a night out, and you still want to drink, maybe at the beginning of the night being like, oh guys, watch me tonight, have my back.
That's a good idea.
Because you know what I'm like. I want to buy everyone drinks.
I'm on a budget.
I'm trying to save for a holiday, save for a house deposit. I'm trying to pay off my credit card. I really don't want to pay my overdraft anymore. And if you've got good friends, they'll be like, put your hand in, stop.
If we said that to our friends, they would all hold you accountable. And they'd be like,
100%.
Holly, don't be putting your hands in your pocket. You've said.
Pay your way. You're not saying, oh, pay for me. You're just saying, don't let me be we're buying everyone shots at the bar. We have got a mutual friend that actually does that quite a lot, and it's put him into debt, and he watches the pod as well, so he'll be feeling seen right now. But he does it. He does it, and he doesn't need to. And his best friend told
everyone
us.
Loves him already.
Everyone loves it. He's great. He's he is the main character. And he doesn't need to buy anyone drinks.
He's good fun.
He's a good crack, but he'll admit it himself when he's had a drink. He's on the tables. He's buying the shots.
Mr.
He's
Party.
getting the rounds in. Yeah.
But he could still be Mr. Party without funding everyone else's party.
Yep. It makes me think of that story that you told about Cole. Was he in Ibiza or something?
Yeah, the vodka one. He was the party then. He paid for the party. He didn't realise it was a party. I can't remember what episode it was, guys, but long story short, one of his friends took his card and bought a $2,000 or $1,000 bottle of rubbish in Ibiza, and he rang the police thinking he'd been defrauded, and they were like, were you in this bar at this time? And they were like, yes, I was. It got sorted to the end, but it just shows a lot. So many regrets after nights out for spending. I mean, we saw, this is going back a few weeks now, but did you see for Coachella? 75% of the tickets were bought on buy now, pay later. They know it.
Stop
they know
it.
75% of the number of tickets.
They're so expensive. They're
and then thousands. You get there and the drinks price is it's just, Ibiza looks like a Benidorm.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
It's so expensive, $50 for a cocktail.
Oh, for God's sake.
And then you've got to pay for your villa in Palm Springs.
Yeah.
Because you need to stay there.
Yeah.
We're talking water was $20.
Yep.
I've seen people sleeping in cars. I saw people literally sleeping in normal cars because it was just so expensive to stay. They were I'll sleep in the car. And it wasn't a camper van. It was literally a Ford Fiesta or whatever the equivalent is.
And the outfits and do you know, it's going back, so I'll have to see if we can dig, but the
breakdown of
the regrets,
cost.
the paying off last year's Coachella this year is just crazy. But yeah, there's we can all so if you've had a little bit to drink at an event or a club or a holiday where the drinks are already expensive, the next day you look at that credit card.
How many people have been to, what is it, Beach or Ocean Beach, and they're just living in regrets.
Yes, yeah, because it was the moment.
It's a bravado. I imagine it happens to men a lot more. Where they're
probably.
Yeah, sparkler. Someone
it's
carrying something out.
It's ego booster, and then literally living it. Or you're going away with friends that have got a lot more money than you, and it's your turn. It's your round. I remember when we were younger, we moved in a circle that we're still moving it, but we couldn't afford to be in it. Like I was a student and Neil, I don't even know what Neil was doing at the time. Not bringing in the same amount of money as our peers, basically. And they used to do like credit card roulette where they'd all go out for dinner and then they'd throw all the credit cards in. And our friends used to be like, you are not participating in this game. Like they are good friends.
That's good.
But some people don't have the luck that we have and wouldn't recognise that is way beyond something that someone should be doing. And it's just a game. Credit card roulette? Like 12 people.
Debit card roulette.
Yeah,
like,
I don't even
they wouldn't need a credit card. But like,
oh my God, that's just giving me anxiety about thinking about.
Meal of 12 people, alcohol, starters, mains, prawns, steak.
Prawns. Oh, prawns? God. Not the prawns.
Well, I never have prawns. I'm a cheap date.
They're very expensive.
That was a good one.
I
enjoyed that chat.
Only because you're sat at home. Like, that would never be me.
I know.
You do it in Gales.
Oh,
hot dogs for everyone.
No, enjoying your mortgage, enjoying your rent, getting your money's worth in your pajamas. No, let us know what you do. But I do feel like Holly said, unfortunately, it's fortunately as well, but this is work on you.
Yeah.
You need to work on you because
you are the problem.
You're the problem and solution.
Yeah.
Yep.
Ooh, I like that.
Quote. Laura, 2025. Okay, community win time. I just want to say thank you to Financielle. I've had life insurance on my to-do list for 6 years and I've finally got it sorted.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
These are so I cannot tell you. I never thought in my life I'd talk about life insurance. And I never thought I would talk about it so passionately as I do now. But a light bulb moment went off when we started talking about it at Financielle and recognising that none of us are probably protected in any way. It I feel like it skips generations of people. Like this knowledge around life insurance, it just used to be a thing that you'd go to like a wealth advisor for, or there'd be like a salesman with a briefcase. Like, no, you don't need to do that. You need to go to financielle.com/protection and we will look after you.
Yeah, because what used to happen was, well, most of us wouldn't have gone to financial advisors, but buying homes, that was the point where banks require it. And it's really hilarious because for a bank to require it, suggests it's quite important, but because lots of us aren't buying homes, we're not getting that meeting, that chat where, oh, you know that nice aesthetic kitchen that you want to make? You can't do that until you've signed this form and bought some life insurance. Okay, and even then, and I reflected on this actually a few weeks ago and changed my cover because they were born out of times when it was just covering a mortgage at first, and then there were less children and assets were less, and having someone. So I don't like speaking to people normally. I'm a WhatsApper. I don't need a phone call if I don't have to have a phone call. It depends. I think for life admin stuff, I just like getting things sorted quickly. It really annoys me that I can't do something efficiently. But on this one, I wanted to chat to someone because I was kind of wanted to talk through the wider picture, what my worries were, what my stresses were, what our emergency fund was, what we both did for work, and look at it all together. And it's just game changing. And once you've done it once, you've then nailed it again for another 5-10 years, and then you might revisit it again. And I do think there's a lost generation that have fallen between the gaps of, going through the formal mortgage process and how are people getting protected properly. And the messages that we've had from people going, you've made it not overwhelming, not think about me dying, not thinking about all the morbid stuff, just thinking about
it's more like from a well-being perspective, like what would happen if I'm not here or my partner's not here? How will we cope financially? It's not something you want to think about. And by all means, like we can give you a really good framework so that you are financially well, but we can't stop someone from passing away.
No, and basically maths doesn't work then as well. So like you can only in extreme scenarios can you have saved enough to cope with that scenario or have your expenses so low. Like most households nowadays need 2 earners. Like our solo homeowners are just absolutely killing it because they're having to juggle all of this on their own. And so all the budget in the world cannot help really when something catastrophic happens. And so it's like the travel insurance one. It's insurance that you hope you never have to use.
Yeah.
You just have it there, but the peace of mind it can bring. And actually like the income protection one's super interesting because I've been speaking to people in our community who've managed to reduce their emergency fund.
Yeah.
They've been able to dump it into investments. They've been able to put it towards a house deposit because they've been able to cover that emergency, especially our self-employed members, with a little bit of insurance that isn't just that expensive. So, it has been one of the left field things that we covered.
I never like I said, never thought I would talk about it or understand it.
Not ambassador. The ideal.
Yeah. But I think if I'm talking about it, you should be talking about it as well. But we work with a company whereby you can, if you want to as well, if you don't feel comfortable speaking to a male about this, if you feel like it's something quite personal, you want to speak to a female advisor, we can sort that for you as well. So like I said, go to financielle.com/protection. You've got 2 options there. You can either do it online yourself or you can request to speak to a female advisor, which I quite like. It's a little bit different. I've never known any other
my
company
advisor
to do
was female, but like the idea that like sometimes you're talking about health issues, you know, especially doing critical illness cover, you might have been through a particular breakup. There might be sensitivities. You might have come out of you might have lost someone and you're protecting yourself. And there's just something where you want to feel not sold to and you want to feel comfortable. And I love that they said, oh, well, if people ask, they can speak to whoever they want. Like, do they want a female? We'll reserve the females. And we're like, yeah, we will take that. So yeah, I love that win. Yeah. Not always like, it's not always a financial win. No. It's sometimes like a life admin tick.
After 6 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my God, that's
I've had things on my list.
The procrastinator in me is empathizing with this, like, oh, it didn't take me that long. Like, I don't know about you, but I do that all the time where I'm like, oh, putting it off. Done. Oh, that was it.
Okay, time for our next dilemma. I'm earning more than ever, so why am I still broke? I recently got a big salary bump at work. I'm now earning 80k, which feels surreal to say. I'm a single girl living in London with my best friend, and honestly, life is full on, but fun. I thought this raise would finally be the thing that sorted my money out. I assumed I'd feel secure, maybe even start saving properly. But nope, somehow I feel just as broke as before. I'm spending more 100%. Ubers instead of the tube, after work drinks that turn into dinners, little weekend trips here and there. I don't even feel like I'm going wild, but at the end of the month, I've basically got nothing left. I'm embarrassed to admit that I don't even have an emergency fund. Even though my income looks amazing on paper, I still feel anxious when I'm opening my bank account. I think I'm dealing with the lifestyle creep, but part of me feels like I've worked so hard I should be able to enjoy it. Any advice on balancing how to enjoy a good salary without falling victim to the lifestyle creep?
I pictured aesthetic lifestyle when you said single girlie living in London.
She's going to Blank Street.
Going seeing friends. She's doing Reformer. Like I can see her because I see her on my Instagram and my TikTok all the time. And I don't think there's ever been a tougher time to be in your early 20s and be influenced. Yeah. She could be older, but like from that up, oh my God, like we did not have, like we were like early days Kardashians. Like that was our level of influence. And because they were so wealthy, that it was such a big disparity. I can't comprehend. I did Reformer Pilates the other day. I wasn't very good at it. So I was good at it, right? And I've given the Pilates girls some flack on here before because I think if it wasn't on TikTok and if you didn't wear nice outfits, people wouldn't do it. It's a beautiful room. It's well lit. There's gorgeous people. Like I think that's what we're all drawn to. It was a really good workout, but I was really worried I was going to fall into the Reformer. So if anyone's done it before, you might know what I mean, where if you are doing quite a hard one, and I was trying to do, because I've been getting stronger and stronger on my legs. I wanted to do the what they called like
the intense one.
The variations. Yeah. And then you like start shaking and stuff. And usually if you're doing like, a Bulgarian split squat off the bench, you just put your foot down. Yeah. On the Reformer, you can't do that. You high. And the old person in me is like, whoa. And so I went and I was actually gifted it from a friend because he had vouchers and there's a few of us went and used it. And I don't know if I think some of these sessions like 27 quid.
It's not expensive.
Yeah. And that's like northern prices, I would say, in London. You price up like a Saturday in London for someone who is living that kind of lifestyle, between that and the brunch and the matcha and the what you're wearing and then your skincare, and then you're going to go out for lunch, then you're going to go out dinner. If you do all that stuff, we couldn't have afforded it. No. And we didn't. We really, really didn't. It wasn't in our budgets. This isn't the boomers doing stop having your avocado on toast. It's so hard nowadays, though, to not feel that that's normal. That isn't normal. I'm going to say it is not normal to have to spend all that. And so we see time and time again, these pay rises don't matter if you've not sorted your budget out, because you can be earning 6 figures and still have this problem where actually it's a privileged thing to say, but the more you earn, you're still giving more in tax and you're still luckily putting more into your pension, but it's not that much more. Yeah. And all it takes is a few £100 here and there, treating yourself because you've worked hard.
It, which you have. No one's saying you haven't. You know, like when people say treat yourself, and they're like, they'll find that we can convince ourselves of anything.
But which bit's the treat? Because is the Pilates the treat, or is that routine?
What I mean. Is that my fitness class?
She didn't even mention Pilates, and I've just decided that's what she definitely does.
You're just giving the vibe. Like the lifestyle creep means that you're spending your income is like, it's not matching, is it? Like it's inflated, so therefore your expenses inflate. You go, I'm making more money, therefore I'll spend more money. Mm-hmm. The budget is the core of this. Like no matter how much money you have coming in, whether you get paid 30 grand, 100k, 80k, everyone should have a budget. And you have sinking funds, and you decide what those sinking funds are for. And the math is mathing or it isn't. And in your case, it isn't. The fact that you've got no emergency savings on an 80k salary. Someone with a 20k income probably has emergency funds in our community because they've followed the methodology.
Yeah, and the idea that you feel stressed about payday, like
that's telling you that
that's not treating yourself. That's not looking after yourself. Actually,
you said at the end, I want to enjoy myself or something. Right in this dilemma, you're not enjoying yourself. I enjoy myself. You get paid more than me. I'll be transparent. This person gets paid a lot more than me. But I'm probably in a financially better position in that I've got emergency savings and I have sinking funds, and I sit down at the beginning of every month and I decide where I want my joy to be. And it can't be everywhere. I have to make choices.
And you can switch it up, and one month it could be there's a trip, and another month it could be I'm going to get a beauty treatment done. Like it can change around. We're going a day out. We're going to go for really nice food. It sounds like she's not got a goal.
Yeah.
Because like if you're just living in the moment and enjoying yourself, you kind of get carried away, and it is a bit like Monopoly money, especially when you have more, when you get paid more. And like I said, I've been paid lots of different things. And when you get paid a salary like that, what happens is, it's sad because she says she's not on payday, but on payday, so much money goes in that you go, And because you've kind of got more than you had, because now you've got a raise, you're less likely to budget. So what happens is it's just sloshing around in there. So bills start to go out and it all adds up. And then suddenly it's gone. And it's because you're not able to divide it all up. And that's why doing a budget, moving money into pots, either sinking fund pots like your flexible expenses, dividing it up, and even dividing it on a weekly basis. I've seen people do this really well, where you do food and fun week 1, food and fun week 2, because what it means is you don't spend everything in week 1 and 2.
That's a good idea.
And like Holly said, choose what your thing is, because I think what you'll realize is you're normalizing treats.
Yeah.
So you're normalizing probably, again, I'm just picking up what the aesthetic is, but work, athleisure outfits, doing a haul at the shops, we're going to Zara, nice dinners out in aesthetic locations, skincare that's not just like simple moisturizer and face wipes. That's what we survived on. Like we didn't have all this really expensive layered approach to beauty. In your early 20s, that adds up. And so start with the end in mind. What's your goal? Make sure that fits into your budget. And if your goal, so let's say she wants to save an emergency fund, because that's where she'd be.
Emergency. She's pointed out, I've not even got an emergency fund. So I'd go, okay,
what's 1 month's expenses? And so if she's on 18, it depends what her expenses are, but let's pretend it's like 4 grand net. Let's pretend she needs to save that. So she needs to decide, how quickly do I want to save that? Can she save 1,000, 1,500 a month? Because if she can, make sure that's left over in your budget in the app and work backwards. And if, you might not be able to do some of the things that you're doing, but it's for a period of time.
Yeah, it is. That's what it is. But then those good behaviours, you'll keep them going, because it'll be too addictive to see an excess, and to go back to not having an excess will make you feel ill, because you'll be like, I have all this money and I've got all this opportunity. Like, do you know when people do a food shop, when they're like, why I did my food shop and I had my healthy head on, and then you go and you just want to buy all the rubbish. Like that's a little bit of what you need to do. You need to do a budget at the beginning of the month when you've got all that money and all that opportunity, and put it away and give it a job. And by week 3 you might be like, I just want to have my nails done, and I want to have a blank street, and I want to go to Reformer because I can. You've already put the money away. Everything's got a job, so you're less tempted to stray. So like you have to do the budget. Like there's no other option for you. Sorry, if you want to feel financially well.
And you are she doesn't mention debt. She may well have debt, but she's definitely not got an emergency savings. So you are not financially well right now. You shouldn't be treating yourself because you're feeling worse for it.
Yeah.
You will feel better about those treats and that lifestyle if you've got emergency savings. And it's just flexing that muscle. It's like starting that process. Like you've not started the process yet. Start that process. And I feel like, I think you're quite good at this, Lucy, but like romanticizing the small things.
Definitely.
And you can still have a tight budget and have fun things in it, can't you?
Yeah, you can make like a basic, I think, do you know how we say like, or model it, like what's your like basic budget, what's like a bougie budget?
Yeah.
I think, okay, what's the most basic lifestyle that you want, that you can live? And maybe it's like, okay, you get one coffee a week and you don't get it to take away. You go and get it on a Saturday morning, you take your book, you take your journal, and like you really enjoy that like £5 that you spend.
Yeah.
And
get
like,
your money's worth.
Yeah.
Not walking down the street, drinking the coffee whilst doing 20 other things.
On your phone.
Done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just being so present and literally enjoying every single little thing.
And also, and this, so you can do your budget. So do an accurate budget, which is what you're spending now. This is your task, and you do it. And then you do another one where you squeeze that. And so things like, you will look back, and you have to look back and see what you actually spent, because you'll say, oh, I spend this on going out.
Yeah.
Going out's expensive. We are not judging you for how much it costs. It's not your fault how much it costs. But let's say you've actually spent £600, £700, £800. That is easily done for someone, especially in a city. Make that, half in it changes your life, but then pick what could you switch out for. So for example, you know, we've talked about alcohol in this podcast. Even doing an alcohol-free night out massively reduces the bill. Going to somewhere that you can walk to, not getting the Ubers. Like every tube you get in, bank that money. You know, it's about habit and slipping into bad habits. But go through every line of your budget and go, okay, for a period of time, what can I cut back? And just try it out. If you cut too much, pull it back a bit. That's fine. Like you can give yourself a little bit more. But I think you'll be surprised.
Don't do finger in air. Like, oh, I think I spend £500 on groceries. You probably don't. It's really expensive.
Yeah,
you're like, you live on your own, it might be cheaper than that. But don't do a finger in air job. Like do an autopsy, and I mean an autopsy on your last month's budget, and be honest with yourself. Categorize it. And just be honest with yourself. Create that budget and go, okay, it's literally minus £300. That's what I did last month. Okay, what can I do next month? You might break even the next month. And then the next month you might save 100. And then you'll just get into a routine and start to squeeze.
Yeah,
the good thing with you is you've got opportunity.
Yeah,
with 80 grand salary, you have all the opportunity in the world. Like you are in a really good position to really be good with money. And I think that's really exciting.
For saving your emergency fund, I think once you've done a budget, looking at a no spend challenge could be really good for you, because you can tell your friends. You can be like, guys, I need some savings. Detox. I've not got any. So I am walking everywhere. I want to do things local. I'm going to get the tube. We're not getting Deliveroo. Look, the good thing about no spend challenges is you do that autopsy and you look at your weak points. So for example, like if Amazon is your weak point, you literally delete the app, you unconnect your bank things. If the takeaway apps are, you delete that. If you are getting peppered with advertisements from ASOS or from Zara or from whoever, you unsubscribe. You do the things, because if you really need something and if you really want it, you'll find your way to it. But at the moment, help cut distractions. And this is strategy over willpower, because we're all human. Build a strategy that gets you to that mini emergency fund level. And I just think it'll change your life.
Yeah, I love strategy over willpower.
Yeah, well, listen, we're all human, and who has willpower? I had 4 pretzels on this. I had 4 pretzels before coming onto this podcast, and it's because they're on the desk out there and the lid was off. So the strategy is they need to move it out of sight. And if I sat on that desk, I would. So it was moved because I don't have willpower that if I walk past it, I'll get 2 more. And I don't know what they are on MyFitnessPal because I didn't buy them. It's a strategy of willpower every time.
That's all for this episode. The vault is now locked. And just a quick disclaimer, the vault is just a chat around life and money topics. We are not giving financial advice.